Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and it's funny when I record these videos, I do them in groups now. I've noticed that I will spend some time doing recordings of episodes and do a whole bunch of them at one time, then edit them, upload them. I get about a couple months ahead, and then I don't do, like, my day job is not a lot of coding anymore. I don't do, that coding nonstop thing. For my day job. And so this is really a prime motivator for me to keep the chops up, so to speak. And just, it's been for many reasons, it's been somewhat disheartening over the past couple of weeks, with a whole bunch of things. Quite honestly, a lot of it has to do with the upcoming election and the fear, uncertainty, and doubt of what may happen, and I want to have hope for a good result, at least what I think would be a good result. But I think no matter what happens, there is potentially a big fallout to happen, and it's been wearing on my mind, as I'm sure it's been wearing on a fair amount of people's minds that live in the United States. So it's been demotivating. It's been harder to want to come down here into my office and spend time recording episodes and doing some coding stuff, So, I finally said, you know what, enough's enough. I enjoy this, and time to get back and maybe do a whirlwind of more episodes and recording them. A couple things that I've changed, or realized about this laptop. One is, I think I had mentioned before that when I've done live streaming and whatnot, that this was always being problematic. Well, and I don't remember if I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I think I figured out that if I get off of my wire connection and I use the wireless on my laptop, that seems to be stable. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because the wired is actually going through like a USB converter. Whatever it is, it seems to work. And the reason why I didn't even try wired is because before my whole job change and I got this laptop and everything, the wireless that we had actually, hold on, is it up here? Yeah, it's up here somewhere. Can I get it down here without a lot of, it's this one. Gotta watch out for that. It's a Netgear, which is fine. It worked, but I thought it wasn't reaching as well into my office here. This is on the other side of the house. And so before I had made the job change, I had updated a lot of the networking in the house, a new router included. So I never even tried wireless in this office, and it seems like it's pretty decent. So on those days that I need to do any video conferencing on this laptop, I just simply pull the cord over here, switch to wireless, and off it goes. And that seems to be pretty stable. So that's good. I had gone through a whole rigmarole of talking to Dell, and, well, you're just going to have to reinstall your operating system. That must be it. That wasn't it. So I did find out that repaving a machine to get back to, a clean install of Windows 10 and updating all software is really simple these days. Well, at least it's nowhere near as much work as it used to be. So that's good. The other thing, what was the other thing? There's two things that just went through my head. There was that, and of course, then I don't remember what the other one was. I'll probably remember it as I go off and talk about this. I'm not sure. But in any event, since I can't remember, it's just going to be one thing. And don't you hate that though? Like, there's times where you knew there was a couple things you wanted to remember, and you just, like, I need a stack in my head that remembers all the things I just pushed on it so I can pop them off later and go, oh yeah, that's what that's what I wanted to talk to. I just remember that. So in any event, it's going to bug me. It's definitely going to bug me. I know it's going to bug me. So I'm going to get back into Rocks. There's still a lot of work to be done. But before I jump back into Rocks, one of the things I'm going to change in Rocks is one of the things I've been doing in Inline Mapper, or Inline Mapping, I should say, which is the way that it's referenced and then how you include types. Because if you notice here, Is it this one? I believe it is. I'm referencing the CS project as a output item type of analyzer. And when you do that, and I don't quite know all the details off the top of my head, but when you do this, you don't necessarily get to reference. In fact, you don't quote unquote see the types that are within that assembly. It's loaded and used in a different way. So what that meant was, for example, in this project here, whoops, no, not that. Stop it. Not that. Go away. There you go. So what that meant is for something like inline mapping is this map to attribute looks like a CS file, has all the color coding and whatnot. But if I go to the properties of the file, it's an embedded resource and I don't copy it. And the reason I do this is because this way I think I get IntelliSense. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I do or not, but at least I get color coding. And what I do is when I run the generator, the first thing I do if I come down here is you'll notice, let me get rid of all the, oh yeah, that's the other thing I just remembered. I'll get back to that in a moment. It's this thing. Is I will load that symbol into essentially the compilation. And so then that attribute becomes part of what somebody can see because it's part of the new generated code. It's a little awkward. I wish there was a better way to do this, and maybe sometime in the future, source generators have a way to say, oh, by the way, these types really should be seen and we shouldn't have to go through this process to do it. Just make it easier. I don't know. So that's one thing I need to change in Rocks here is that I reference it like, well, either I reference, I can reference it like this generator's test, which is still like this. Then you're actually you can reference the generator type, the receiver type if you have one, and so on. If you do it this way, though, then you can't, and then you're just kind of using it as an integration test. Like if you see down here with tests here, I'm not referencing it that way, and that way I can reference all the things. One other thing I just realized too is here, I believe, if I remember right, I think I have that in my props. Yeah, Lang version has to be a preview. The 9.0 doesn't quite work. So what I need to do here before I forget is we need to say Lang version latest. Okay. The test project can be, I don't think that matters. Does it? I don't remember if it does or not. If we have to, no, because everywhere I'm saying preview in that one. This one, I don't. I will just say here preview, and at some point I will, when I finally have this all consolidated down, I will change to having a props thing if I don't already have that, which I do, but I don't want to change the other projects just yet. Okay, so this one would actually be able to test the generator types, the receiver types, but if I wanted an integration type, that would actually then say, okay, we're going to test these based on seeing, if I go back here, what will, no, not that one, this one, which will be this rock type. This will actually end up becoming like an embedded resource and loading it the way I'm doing here. So that's the one thing I'm going to add in right now in this episode and then move on. The thing I want to move on to is I want to get to the point where I'm doing a simple thing. I'm generating a method, which is straightforward types, no params, no refs, no outs, no pointers, nothing like that just yet. Do something that's fairly straightforward and germane and get it so that I can actually start running tests on the mock and see if it works. And then I can start building up the other things like all the special types and the properties and methods and so on. But I got to get to a point where I'm actually doing something productive. And I think in this Rocks one, I'm definitely going to need to add in like method expectations. This is also something that needs to be embedded. So maybe in this case, I'm going to make an embedded folder and that will have all the embedded types built in that then I will have something in the generator that just says load embedded types. And that one will go through each file one by one and say, okay, load these and make sure that they're in place. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do in the episode today. At least try to get that all in place. And then I'm also going to move on to doing methods like I said before. One thing I forgot, and this is why I pointed at the microphone, is I had this thing here. This thing I had in front for a little while. And a friend of mine who also, Alan, who has the same mic, he said that you don't need one for this mic. You actually, it has like, I forget the technical term for it, but the thing in the mic that prevents all the pops going on. Well, I tried I'm doing some random review episodes now, reviewing books and movies and stuff like that. And I tried the mic without it, and it sounded a little bit still like the P's were coming through a little bit too harshly. And maybe it's just because I was trying to listen for it or not, I'm not sure. But I also had this little covering thing. So I'm going to put this on and see if it helps or not, and using it in future versions. The reason why I like this is because I noticed that when I was typing, that thing around this was actually covering my view of the keyboard. And apparently I still must glance down occasionally when I'm looking for stuff to, like, I don't have complete muscle memory on my keyboard. And so it was actually becoming a little bit of a hindrance. I'd have to kind of like move to the side and check it out. So hopefully this will also work better in the long run. That all said, so we're going to get a list here going, because, lists are good things, right? So we're going to say add all, create embedded types. This is all for rocks. Create a .integration test project that references like an analyzer. Mock an interface with one simple method. Add more combinations, cases, etc. Okay. All right, so the first one will be somewhat simple. Famous last words. So we're going to need a folder here, and we're going to call it embedded. Okay. And so we're going to put the rock type in embedded. Never prompt. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to change this to being, no, an embedded resource, do not copy. Okay, so now if I come back here, I believe though that what happens is if I say like public, it's that public static void do it string a, do a dot. Oh, I do get IntelliSense. Okay, I was wrong, so this is even better. But now this type is not being loaded at compiled. It's being as an embedded resource, right? Okay, so what I need to do is come back over here to inline mapping, and whatever magical thing I did in the generator, we need that magical function, the magical help function here, load symbol. Okay, so we're going to need assembly. I can't talk. Assembly extensions. And I do not have that. Okay, so we're going to say add class, and we're going to say assembly extensions. Okay. Get rid of that. Come on, go away. Go away. It's amazing how much, if you don't code, how much muscle memory feels like you lose. And I've got to do this far more often these days. All right, so that's basically the same thing. Okay, so now here in rock, though, no, not rock, in the generator, we're going to want to have a method, if I remember right, we do have a way to return all these. Okay, so the reason why this is important is because the compilation is a new compilation, and that's what you need to chain off of on all of these. If I remember right, the load symbol though, and I know that I'm in inline mapping at the moment. What do we all use from the context? We do add source and we do compilation. So we do, I didn't think of that. If I say, like I've been doing one, what happens if I do more? Like I can't say, if I do compilation, get context. No, there's no preservation of the context it came from, which is fine. The thing I did before in inline mapping was an easy one-off. This one's a little bit more involved, shall we say. And so I'm going to want to do something where I do like a loop on all these things and then return the compilation back that has all of them. Right. So since we are in the mighty magical C#9, we're going to do public record embedded type information. You say string type resource name, string type name. Done. Boom. Pow. Don't you love me? What's the problem here? Predefined type. What you talking? Oh, I got it. Yep. Sorry. I thought I made that preview. Huh. Maybe once again, maybe I'll see that later. Come on. What's the problem? You should be able to do this. Again, one thing that you think, oh, this should be simple, is no longer simple. Yeah, I know you don't know what rock is, but that's not the problem. Why can't that doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're now very confused here. You should just be able to make a record, right? I mean, what's public record, a record, string thing? What? It never, I feel like, Jesus. Okay, what is to the searches? Well, that doesn't really make any sense. That's an old one. This is a new one. A couple of references should be testable now. Yeah. Since, but using the new init feature gives me this error. How do I fix this? Language emergence 16, I'm just already cited. But why should I have to add that type? That doesn't make any sense. I had this error when TargetFramework done the same with Lang version 9, but I changed that. This isn't Rocks generators, it's Lang version preview. I mean, I do these in the expectation that what I thought worked before should just work. And I don't understand why this doesn't. Like, how does this not work? Problem occurred, but these are all like June. This is not like November. I mean, compiler classes external init. I have no idea what you're talking about. System runtime compiler services is external. Well, it's not there. Well, why would I need it? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Just why? Why does this... Am I on the right thing? Like, make a new preview. Just, we're going to create a new project, because when you don't know what you're doing, you just do a new project. Console app. Come on. Should not take this long to search for a console app. Very good. Next. Console app 1, because, you do console app 1. And if I do console app 1, and I say in here, public, wait. We got to make this .NET 5.0. We need to say Lang version preview. Okay. So now I should be able to come here and say public record, a record, string thing. Come on, type. And that works just fine. I wonder if it's because of this being standard 2.0 that's throwing it. So that you can, oh, that would suck. I wonder if that's it. You can make a console app well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just make this. Well, we'll take out the output type, and then we'll just make this that. Come back here. Yeah, now it throws that around. So because you're targeting down that standard, so you'd have to put that type. Well, okay, so I guess I sort of learned a new thing today, but it kind of sucks because, yeah. Okay, well, console app 1 saved me. So I can't do what I want here, which is I want to use a new record, but I can't because that type isn't defined. And I could just add the type, but that feels stupid. So fine. You know, all I really wanted to do was create a simple type that, you know, had the, that's what's so cool about records is I wanted to have a record here. Embedded type information. You know, nope. Nope. No. Come on. Muscle memory here. Embedded type information. Public sealed class meta type information. What I really want is that. What I got to do is say all of this episode is going to be is me doing stumbling. Yeah, I know it's not set. Shut up. Public that string type resource name type name string type name, which is going to be equal to this dot. No, God. trn this dot tn is equal to type resource name type name type name. Come on. What a boatload of crap that is. And it's literally just to be able to say here, I want to pass in a immutable array of embedded type information, embedded type. Thank you for that help there. And then we return the context, or we get the context. Okay. Well, we're going to need an array of type symbols. And it can't, like, how do I know which one is which? How was I doing it in inline mapping? So when I was doing inline mapping, it was the type name. So I could have I could have an immutable array of, well, I want a dictionary, an immutable dictionary. Immutable dictionary of string to itype symbol, like that. Okay. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to say for all of the, wait, I just did this in the wrong spot. Dear God, stop it. I gotta laugh. I just have to laugh. There we go. Okay, and then you do that. That's what you want, right? Yep, because I did. Okay. There. Okay, and that will have to be fixed in the next episode because apparently I can't do this in just one. So, So yeah, I mean, it's the intent of saying I want to load this for all the things that are going to be in the, you didn't do that right here. You wanted to do that here. Yeah, we want to do immutable array of embedded type information, embedded types. There we go. Okay, now we're back and cooking. So I'm going to do a couple more because I got time this afternoon. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to come back and do another episode where I'll quickly fix this up and start loading all my types and get back to what I was supposed to be doing in the first place. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.